All right, let's do this. We will bring the Lake Shore Hospital Authority Board meeting together or to order. Do we have any staff or trustee additions or deletions to the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, staff has no additions or deletions.
Any trustee additions? Right. Move on to adopting the agenda.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Pass. Move on to public comments. That's only your first.
There's nothing on the agenda, however, I'm almost noticing in Dale's notes, there was some contact and connection with the VA and et cetera, and I was just wondering if you could elaborate on what that was that he noted in this weekly timesheet.
Care to elaborate?
It's your prerogatives. Want me to?
Gary?
We've had a long-standing dialogue with the local Veterans Administration regarding their needs and how anything on this campus may support that. Obviously, when you deal with the VA, you're dealing with quite the bureaucracy. But nonetheless, we continue to have conversation, and certainly if we can support our veterans, particularly our veterans facilities here, the trustees would obviously like to know how they can help and assist. So we do have those conversations.
Any other comments? Public general? See anyone on there? We'll move on from public comments on to approving the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Let's move on to our unfinished business. First one up is Miss Anita Renbert, CEO, on the authorization to proceed.
So, I'm assuming Dale probably gave my update the last month for the meeting.
I did.
There honestly has not been much change. So we're still waiting. Sorry, I'm reading my notes just to make sure I say this correctly. The preliminary site plan from Carol Chadwick, who's working on that. Talked to her Friday. She still believes tentatively she'll have a site plan ready for us on Friday. But once she gets that, then it's to do the soil testing for the property there. So we're still waiting on the site plan to be completed. Once that gets complete, then it goes before the municipality for approval at that time. So we're still, we use Carol, someone local from Lake City, felt like she would be, a good advocate for us and to help us with this process. We've used her in the past. She's been great. We're really proud to have her as a partner, but we are kind of still waiting on her to finish the site plan.
Hurry up and wait.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I also shared with Anita the information pertaining to the Bedoya building, which was adjoining this facility. The surface water permitting is part of what Carol is performing for this project. Obviously, we're entitled to a credit because that was all impervious area. That impervious area is documented, and I shared that with Anita, who has shared it with Carol. And then, of course, I think what my understanding is exactly what Anita said. She's working on doing the EA1. She's working on doing the surface water permitting. She'll prepare the site plan, and then they will submit it to the city to see if there's anything that is required on their part in order to apply for a permit. We do not think anything will be required, but that's us.
The hope
I was gonna say, I'm about 95% sure on that one.
Well, the hope is that the amount of the impervious that's already been approved, that we aren't gonna go over that. So as long as we stay at or below that, the original permit should still stand.
Yeah.
So that's the cross our fingers and hope,
Isn't it just a renovation? I'm sorry, I can't help it. Isn't it just a renovation?
right? But we're adding parking.
There,
But
So
the parking is
attention.
being added to where there was a concrete slab
yeah.
and a building. So we basically are not creating any new impervious area. There's no expansion of the building. There's no parking that is exceeding the limits of what was already paved.
Footprints or something.
Yeah, so we think there should not be any surface water permit regulation that requires us to use anything for a retention pond or et cetera.
I have helped the architect slash engineer to make sure all the plans are ready. We are still waiting on mechanical engineering to be complete. So hoping that when we get at least the site plan done, the actual building plans will be ready at the same time, ready for it. So that's our goal, was so everything will be done, together. So that we won't be waiting on mechanical engineering and site plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You'll have the whole package ready to go as soon as they approve it. You can
Right, as
drop
soon
the
as they
permit.
say yes, that we can move forward with that site plan, that we'll be ready to go. But we'll say mechanical engineering every project we have seems to be taking the longest.
They're the rarest. Yes, sir. Just kidding.
Excuse the question, but can I get a definition of longer?
I don't know.
6 months or
For the site plan,
for everything? Yeah.
I would hope within the next 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to
That
8
was
weeks,
kind of
so
what Carol's
Maybe October we're looking at.
judgment is.
Yes, ma'am. I got it.
But we're gonna be at the mercy of the city
I got
saying
it.
yes or no.
I got
And
it.
that's kind of where I feel like if we get everything we've gotta have, she's thinking, if she gets the plans to us this week, then soil testing for about 2 weeks is the thought process, and then to go to the city. So
Is there anything that we, meaning Mr. Williams, Mr. Kennan, can do to help expedite it?
talk to whoever at the city to
Okay,
get
I
it.
didn't mean, I'm sorry.
No.
Mr. Kennan.
I've already expressed we'd do whatever we could to help expedite it.
They can
Thank
come
you.
with us to file the permit, or
Great.
not the permit, but the.
I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
We're ready, we're ready, and my staff's excited, I've got staff ready to go and actually ready to relocate and move to that office, so.
Maybe eliminate some of that congestion out there on West 90.
I can always call Carol and tell her to hurry up.
That'd be great,
You can do that.
anything we can do, to help, we appreciate it.
Hurry up every chance you get.
Yeah, we. No,
It for me, it seems.
and I can come back as much as I need to update you, you know what I mean, like, I'm sorry, I just didn't feel like I really had any good news.
Yeah.
So, um,
We're preparing to submit.
yes, yes, we're still preparing to submit,
Fair enough.
okay.
Thank you, David. Before we open that up for any comments, I'll address this Lindley. Any public comments on Miss?
I've asked this question before, but never had an answer. Why did this board make the decision to give a handout to Palms Medical?
Public comment.
And she referenced that the staff was ready to relocate. Does that mean they're not gonna be at 5 Points? They'll all be here? She said relocate.
No. Thank you, Ms. Lemon. See are there any other questions? Hang on. Okay. Any thoughts of the board before I move on with this one? Okay, moving on to the next item. Brother Kennan, LSHA attorney, discussion and possible action for the city of Lake City zoning determination.
Yeah, we will be reaching out to the city middle of this week, if not tomorrow. Myself and David Evans are in conversation about trying to work with the city to get theirs moving the same time ours is moving. I believe we'll be further addressing this August 25th at our special meeting. And just gonna confirm to the city that Mr. Evans and I are ready, willing, and able to talk to Mr. Martin if he so desires. And essentially probably requesting to see if the city can approve the agreement contingent on Meridian signing the agreement. And if they can do that, the goal of Mr. Evans and I would be to have if city will agree to do that and we'll do it, our goal would be to have a signed agreement, lock, stock and barrel by September 30th. I think, the city has a meeting the 18th, we have one the 25th, Meridian has one the 9th of September. So that's kind of the pecking order that we're trying to get ahead of.
I think Meridian is gonna have to move their meeting back because of some conflicts. I don't know if that's been confirmed on their end or not. It'll still be in September, but not the 9th. It'll be a little bit later in the month.
So before we open this up, and we actually have Lauren on here so we can ask her. But are there any public comments on this? They're open it up. Okay. Thoughts of the board, y'all want me to ask Lauren if she knows if that meeting's been postponed?
You can, but before you speak to Lauren, I also wanted to add to Todd's comments. Lauren and I had the opportunity to meet last week, and that was the meeting that you as trustees had requested related to their last letter where they wanted to do a new inspection and et cetera. Didn't really know what to expect going into the meeting, but from my perspective, I think it was a very positive meeting, a very good meeting. I think Lauren would tell you the same. I think that there was some commonality, some common ground met and et cetera. One thing that become pretty obvious, at least to me, was most of our discussions, the authorities' discussions had been with Don Savoy. And much of the information and much of the things that we disclosed about our buildings was with Don. And I'm sure that Don relayed as much of that as he possibly could when he decided to retire. But it was kind of obvious when we sat down with Lauren and her team that not everything had been communicated. So we went back and we're still in the process of trying to find all the old documents that had been shared with Dawn and making sure that Lauren and her team have access to that. Some of those old engineering mechanical plans, those replacement plans that had been prepared and et cetera. So we're in the process of doing that, but this is scheduled now for you to address again on August 25th at your special meeting. There are some things that we are in hopes we can discuss between the trustee or staff and Meridian before the 25th, hopefully to expedite some of these things that we're doing. So we kept it on the agenda just in case we're able to report that, just in case we're able to do it, we'll have a spot on the agenda. Because as a special meeting, we have to disclose what we're discussing in advance. So thought it was a good meeting, thought it was productive. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, my fault, I wasn't able to meet with Lauren until later than I had hoped. But we did get the chance to meet, and again, I thought it was a good meeting, so I think some progress was made. And now you can ask Lauren.
Well,
Go for it.
did we convey to Meridian what your board did last month
Yes,
as far as declining their request in their letter
yes,
and us asking them to proceed with their due diligence by Mr. Evans getting to hold Mr. Kennan and this, and go through that process with the
Yeah.
building?
And just to make myself perfectly clear, that's what I was trying to say.
I got you.
Trying to wrap all of this up into, hey, here's where we're at and here's what we can do to bring this project home tonight.
I got you. So hopefully by 2 weeks from tonight, we'll have a firm answer from Meridian.
Well, what we'll have hopefully is the understanding and knowledge of what we might be able to do to make this all happen quickly. If she's not meeting until September, she can't get approval until her meeting. So anything we do and discuss will be a subject to on her part. Our process is ahead of their process in terms of meetings.
So it will be after their September meeting before they can answer whether they want to proceed with their due diligence.
Yes.
And then it will be with Mr. Kennan getting with
Mr.
Mr.
Evans.
Martin with the city to tie up the loose ends on Exhibit B.
I think he
Yes.
was saying he's hoping that's done before the end of September.
We're gonna
Exactly.
request that the city consider doing a contingent on Meridian being the entity that signs the agreement.
Right.
That we, yeah.
Okay,
Now, whether they do that's gonna be entirely up to them, but that's gonna be our request so that we have a goal of the end of September as a timeline.
okay. And if I can impose on you or Mr. Williams one, I think the last Exhibit B that I was provided was one back in June. Could you or somebody send out to the board members the latest, greatest version of Exhibit B that's been approved by yourself and Mr. Martin?
Yep.
So that we can review that also.
Mr. Chair. I was
Mr. Bill.
just gonna add to that. That was gonna be my comment. I know it's gone back and forth. So where did the last volley come from? Did it come from the city with the language, or did it come from us and Meridian
The
to
city requested two of the paragraphs be modified. They were the paragraphs that dealt with, you won't have off the top of my head, you won't have an adult.
rewording kind of how it
Yes,
was?
yes, because they had it, we won't have an adult facility like Jimbo Manor. And the city wanted it tied up, we will not have an adult treatment center, including one not like the one that we referenced. We
Okay.
used the reference as an example in the original exhibit. So Meridian, Mr. Evans was fine with expanding that to make it clear. The city then had a question about the 911 system. But when Mr. Martin went back and looked at it, it did have the word maintain or maintenance in the agreement. It was just on the second page they didn't catch, so we're good with that one.
Okay.
So from where I stand, the city is okay, at least through Mr. Martin. Now, he can't speak for his council. With the language that we modified in the two paragraphs of Exhibit B.
And thank you, Mr. Beal. And I guess my only concern about that, Mr. Kennan, is that tomorrow will be exactly 5 months since we had that 164 meeting with the city, which was March the 12th.
And
And it's still pending, I assume, correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
and the city pretty much, Mr. Martin relayed to me that the city, when these last issues came up regarding the building and inspections and all of that,
Yes, sir.
the city wasn't prepared to go forward until those got ironed out. And so hopefully between Mr. Williams' meeting and coming back the 25th, we'll have those ironed out.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Williams, too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's good.
I can't read between the lines to get on what you were saying, so.
Does that board meeting, was their board meeting being possibly pushed affect that timeline?
No, I mean, look, simply put, it'd be really nice if we're able and we're successful on the 25th of being able to put together all the last details to say, here you go, Meridian, all these issues are now out of the way.
Mhm.
Here's your opportunity to carry this package to your board and get it approved.
Gotcha.
There's no more loose ends. There's no more problems to deal with. Here's where we're at, and here's how we're addressing all of these things or have addressed all of these things.
Okay.
That's the goal.
In other words, by August 25th, we're gonna be done. We're saying this is,
That's my goal. That's what I want to do.
well, I think we should say that that's what we're doing. I don't think it should be our goal. I think that should be it. This is it. Here you go. We'll put a ribbon and a bow
Do
on
or
it.
don't, Dale.
Well, anything that I can control, I have no problem committing to the 25th. But those things that are beyond my control,
Yeah.
I can't promise
Well, I
that.
understand the city may not have an answer,
Okay.
Meridian's board, but I think we should say this is it. This is what we're doing. Here you
I'll
go.
second that motion.
Good, bad, or indifferent, on the 25th, you'll get your report.
Good job. There you go.
Mr. Chairman, can we ask maybe Ms. Cohen if she has any comments she would like to
I
add
was-
to this discussion?
I was gonna do that.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was trying to look for a way to see if I could get a comment from her just to make sure she was on the same page as we are. Can you hear us, Ms. Cohen?
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
I'm sure you've heard our discussion. Do you have anything that you would like to add or elaborate on?
No, I do want to confirm, as Dale indicated, that our board meeting is occurring at the end of September. So the board meeting is on September 30th. So we would be able, I think a reasonable timeline would be for them to review and make a decision and then things be signed in October. So I would agree, just to echo what Dale said, we had a very productive meeting with Dale and the facilities administrator, and received some important information and a lot of details and documents for us to review and look at. And any information or decisions on the part of you all and the board at the August 25th meeting would be fantastic.
Questions for Ms. Cohen from the board? Okay. I appreciate your time, Ms. Cohen. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but thank you for letting me attend virtually.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Well, if there's no further comments on that. Sounds like August 25th. Okay, on to our next line item, for discussion and possible action, the disposition of the 12 lots declared surplus.
Okay. This too is for your August 25th meeting. This is the current plan, and please tell me if you want me to modify it. I am inviting every public entity of the county, and when I say every, I'm speaking of Florida Gateway College, Columbia County, City of Lake City. We can even include the school if you believe it's necessary, to come to the meeting on the 25th if they're interested in those 12 lots. And what information that I would request they be prepared to share with you is, number one, what would they do with the lots? Do they have the resources to accomplish that, and what their time frame would be? And then the trustees need to make a decision at that point whether any of those proposals are worthwhile for you to continue to vet, or if you simply at that point want to offer these for sale. If they're offered for sale, we have basically a couple of options which we can discuss on the 25th, but they're very much like the 11.2 acres. You can do them by bid, you can establish a price and just, offer them for sale. No different than any other private sale would be. So if you want me to modify that in any way, just please tell me. But that way, everybody gets their opportunity. And you get you get to make the decision to do what you think is in the public's best interest.
Or do you comment,
Good.
any public comment on
I
this?
just have a question.
See any? See any hands raised?
I'll raise my hand.
Brother Beal.
Just a little bit of clarification. So, and I may be wrong, that's why I'm asking for clarification. Didn't we ask Mr. Kennedy to reach out to Florida Gateway College? I guess it's been a couple of years ago to see if they had interest in these properties, vacant properties.
I don't recall.
Yes, you did. It was about 3 years ago, and what I did, that was back. Let's see, I've been on the board for 44 months. It was right after we had turned the college down on their proposal with the hospital. And we started dealing with Meridian. This board asked me to contact Florida Gateway College, which I did through their foundation chair, and asked if there was a possibility that the interlocal agreement between the authority and the city fell through, which was February of 24. Would the foundation be interested in a donation from the authority of some lots? I didn't say how many, and I didn't say where they were. And of course, got a absolutely yes from them. And I reported back to the board that, in fact, Mr. Chairman, I think you were the one that suggested that I go and contact and talk to them. And
Right.
I haven't made any additional contact with them other than they are still interested in the lots. If that answers your question, Mr. Deal.
It does, and I'm not opposed to hearing from other public entities, but I would just hate to kind of put that out there and then, I don't know, we like this idea better. So we're gonna go a different route after all. So I just think we have to be a little cautious on that. But I mean, I'm not opposed to, I mean, Dr. Barrett's about, I don't want to drag them into it, especially if you talk to the foundation. So I don't know, but you know, if they're not interested, then certainly we need to find out who might be and what their plans could possibly be and whatever. That's just my thoughts. If we did, I know we didn't say, hey, sign here saying you'll take them if this falls through. There's no agreement. But if we gave our word, then I think we should stick to it.
Makes me want to pick Lee's brain. What did we say? Mr.
Does Ms. Chauncey, do you have any comments? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think since we made the approach, we are morally liable. Okay, and I think that should be our first approach. They may say they don't want them anymore. But if they do, wouldn't that be a beautiful thing to give the college right here, where working people have more access?
I was before my time, so I can't say yay or nay on that, but if you did reach out to somebody prior to that, I mean, and they said, yeah, we show some interest, I think we should give them first dibs at it.
I agree with Mr. Butler.
Well,
We already cut the deal.
my only comments is that yes, I don't think the deal was completed. But I have Mr. Kennan question and a Mr. Williams question. I got a lot of questions for you guys, and I will be not knowing the future of this board down the road. No idea. But would that be something that we would entertain another interlocal agreement with the college?
Yeah.
4 years, 5 years down the road, I would like to hear what the college's plans are. Um, um, with that, with those lots. So I would like to invite them. I still think that we probably should invite the city just to hear what their plans are, other than, residential. If they have use for office space, and the county. I know Mr. Kraus had indicated the desire for the lots, and it may be the college says, well, we'd like to have just these 4 or 5 lots right up there on Marion Street, and the other ones, we're not interested in. So I don't have any problems with inviting the whole bunch, but now I did, have something else in the back of my mind, and Mr. Williams had just mentioned it there about the possibility of selling the lots. And, I guess it's because, Ms. Chauncey, I've heard you say it at several board meetings, and that is, why are we giving stuff away? And I hear it in other areas of the city too, that I go to, why are we giving stuff away? And, to be quite frank with you, the people that made out the best, and I'm all, happy that they did, but the Masonic Lodge came out real good on this by selling their lot. And if Meridian doesn't take it, I wish we'd given that lot back to the Masonic Lodge now, because they would have had just a parking lot and not $125,000. But I'm glad we were able to do that. And then I guess the other thing too, and I hate to bring this up, but I promised Miss Markham I wouldn't say anything, but I've kind of getting on this. But after I have, and you saw me what I was doing earlier today, doing what you used to do to sign the checks, but on this, consent agenda that we get every month, we can look at these bills and they don't mean anything. But my fellow board members, when you actually look at the invoices and sign the checks and the amount of money that is going out every month, trust me, none of us would run our personal lives that way with the amount of money that's going, from the taxpayers that we pay every month. And, maybe we might want to think about recouping those funds. But again, I got way off base, but I had to mention that. But I would like to help the college.
Well, I still maintain that this money, all these properties were paid for by taxpayers.
Absolutely.
Therefore, they should have first option on any of what's there. And if we don't like what they say, we refuse it, and then we can sell it. I mean, that just.
Well, I'm glad we were able to help the college and the county out, and what we did with the 2-story building which is later on the agenda, to the college, and then this building here to the county. I'm glad we've been able to do that. And again, maybe we can continue to help the college, but yeah, if we can recoup a little bit of money for the taxpayers, be nice. Maybe the Masonic Lodge would want to donate back that never mind.
Mr. Chairman, may I just
That
make a
was messed up
suggestion?
again.
If the trustees feel obligated because of their prior actions towards the college, on the 25th, I can just invite the college to come and present, where y'all can update that. If they don't want the lots, or if they only want portion of the lots, then we can move everything beyond that to the first meeting in September. Invite the other entities and make the final decision then, if that's your wishes. It's totally up to you. But if you feel like we need to continue and finally finish vetting out the college proposal, then let's just invite Dr. Barrett back on the 25th. Be prepared to ask him whatever you wish to ask him about that. And I'm sure he will be more than glad to share with us. And you can then decide whether we have residual items to discuss related to the lots at our September meeting. If not, we don't schedule them.
I think that's a good idea.
Can I go one step further? Mr. Kennan, not taking any action on tonight. I noticed that Dr. Barrett is in attendance tonight. Could we just ask him those questions and listen so he wouldn't have to come back on the 25th?
I would be hesitant to do
Okay,
that without,
all right,
without
never
my
mind,
general.
He's not really prepared.
Well, I didn't know what he was doing back there. I just.
I'm waiting for the other action.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
He's waiting on this deed.
I got you. Okay. Excuse me, Dr. Barrett.
It's like walking into a fighting contest and thinking you're getting something else.
Sure.
Ms. Bill.
Scott, one more comment and rebuttal, and Mr. Kennedy, I agree with you because I signed the checks for a couple of years also. So, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, and that's why my toes are so sore from kicking the can down the road so long. But I do want to remind the taxpayers, I think that we've taken our fiduciary responsibility seriously in the fact that we did get a $7.5 million lease buyout from CHS. So we're not technically spending, it's still taxpayer money, at the end of the day, but that money did not come from
I
ad
get
valorem
it.
taxes. So I agree with you 100%, but I wanted to just clarify that I think that I'm ready to stop the spending 100% right now, but I can close my eyes and sleep at night knowing that lease buyout is what's paying for this.
So as vice chair, you'll take over signing the checks again. Thank you.
All those in favor?
There was not a second.
Dr. Barrett, I will make it official, but obviously you're invited for the 25th, okay?
So, clarification, so just the college, or is it gonna be others too?
My understanding and what I'm reading is just you.
And I didn't get an answer from my question to you, Mr. Kennon, about the possibility of an interlocal agreement, because
That'd be up, I mean,
up to the board.
if we wanted to do that, obviously, then if
You'd
this
have to
board
work
was
with their-
disbanded, then whoever takes over the quote assets would take over that interlocal.
I got you.
For what it's worth, I like the idea of an interlocal agreement with them.
Yeah.
Right.
You too.
Any further comments on that? The board? Okay, we'll move on. Next item of business, discussion and possible action for the bid tabulation on the 11.2 acres.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As directed by trustees, we did take the 11.2 acre surplus parcel. We offered it for sale by bid. Our original bid deadline was July 23rd. There were no bids received. So I had conversation with Todd. We extended the bid to August 8th, which of course was this past Friday. And again, we did not receive any bids. So I am reporting to you that there were no bids received for the 11.2 acre parcel.
And I can add to that, you may recall, we got a letter when this first came up. That meeting that we decided to bid it out, we got a letter a day or two later from the city offering to buy it for 20. My understanding, speaking with Mr. Martin, it was his opinion they could not pursue the lot in a bid process. I didn't go into the legal analysis with him, that's his client. But from my understanding and speaking with him is the city would still be interested in purchasing that lot.
Before we do that, any public comments?
No,
Okay. All right, double check it.
no, I'll buy it and sell mitigation credits.
You missed the deadline twice, Mark.
Come on, Mark.
Well, you guys do do-overs all the time, so I'm just expecting a do-over.
I get a motion to give, okay. Thought from the board? What happens if we extend, if we, honestly, what happens if we do extend the deadline? If someone missed it?
Nothing. It's up to you. I mean, you have complete control. You can authorize another offering and another extension. For us, it's just a matter of preparing the appropriate legal notices.
Which costs money.
Mr. Bowie, I'm sorry.
I was just thinking we could get a bidding war going for that swamp.
We did have inquiries about it. I mean, it wasn't as if it was an offer and all we heard was crickets.
Mhm.
We got phone calls and people asked questions, but they just never materialized in anybody submitting an official bid.
Mr. Williams, I'm sure you can answer this question. Would Swanee River Water Management District be interested in a donation from the authority for that property?
It is possible. It actually came up several years ago when we were not long after CHS left. And they were discussing the possibility of, no, it's before CHS left, they were discussing the possibility of putting a road through. During that time, the conversation was had with the district as to whether they would like to be the owner of those properties, basically as environmentally sensitive areas. We never got a yes, no, whatever out of them, but I can certainly ask them if they would like or have a need for that.
I mean, that's just my thoughts, and it thought that came when you sent the agenda out and said, well, nobody buys it, maybe we can donate it to the state. And I figured the Swanee River Water Management, if you don't mind, unless the board objects to it, could you maybe try to get an answer by the agenda for the 25th?
I will be glad to try, but please understand, as somebody who's been in charge of getting land donated to the state, not just the district, but other agencies as well, it's not an easy process.
Yes.
It's not that they just say, yeah, we looked at it and everything's good, here, get us a deed. It just doesn't work quite that way. So, but I'll be more than glad to inquire.
What else would we do?
Our other option would be you could sell it or offer it to the city for the 20,000. If they're still, if unless somebody's changed their mind, Mr. Martin did want me to express that last he spoke with his people that they would have been interested or are interested in buying it. They just couldn't do it through the bid process for whatever reason.
Do you wish for me to in any way reopen that discussion?
I think we should see if they're interested.
I can do that.
City? Yeah.
I mean, the reason we gave the city was, look, you had already decided you were going to offer it for bid and you didn't want to remove that opportunity from the public, should there be any public that wanted it. So we went through the process. We had no takers. So we can certainly ask the city if they're still interested. It's been appraised. That appraisal should be acceptable to the city for their purchasing policy requirements.
20,000 better than nothing.
Yes, sir.
That's my take on it. They would have paid it.
Yeah.
See if they'll do 125. Get that money back that we sent to the Masons.
Better pay 1 month of DSI.
I was about to say this. That's all I can think about. No, tell them they get 60,000, the good price goes up 60,000 a month. Okay.
I would think we would be able to get some of these departments to go check and see if there is anything that is environmentally sensitive in that area.
Never.
I mean, isn't half this, it's a little over half, it's wetland. Isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
It is.
you know, something that is kind of different that they could find species wise, maybe a type of frog or something which would help put a spotlight on Lake City. I mean,
Unless
if
it
they're
was-
willing to do it,
Unless it was an invasive species.
like those spiders that have come
Yeah.
We can,
from Japan.
sell them a permit to come look for them.
There you go.
But I mean, it would be something interesting and it costs us nothing for them to look at it. And we've still got the other option that we can look at.
Yeah.
I'd like you to do that deal.
Okay,
Wildlife and game and, you know, Swanee Valley River Management, you know, the different areas. Because we do have species that are native to the state that are found in the most unusual places.
Find some dead bodies.
Well, they find those too. But we also know that there was a big Indian settlement here. Who knows what they find?
just to make sure now I don't overstep my directions here, we're gonna check first with water management. Let them see if they have an interest before we contact the city. That's what I hear Miss Laurie saying.
Well, I think we could contact all of them.
Okay, do it simultaneously.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, we go step by step and it takes 12 months. If they're all doing it at the same time, we get answers.
okay. I think I have my charge. I understand.
Yeah. Anybody, any other comments from the board? Moving on to new business, update discussion and possible approval, the renewal of the treasury notes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll begin with our last meeting. We had a discussion about upcoming renewals as they related to these treasuries. We have placed a $1,996,619.54 treasury, 1 year maturity at a maturity rate of 4.074%, which I believe was slightly higher than what we thought we would get when we discussed it at the last meeting. In addition to that, we have since had our largest treasury, 7,967,000, renew for a 1 year period at 4.01% on maturity. Now, I'll remind the trustees, you're limited as to where you can invest public money. And of course, the reason for that is they don't want officials to be gambling with money that belongs to the public. So given the options that we have, these treasuries have really done nicely for us, I think. You may recall it wasn't that long ago, we were getting 1% and in some cases even less. So we have been somewhat successful in getting a better rate. What I think we need to do tonight is for just the board to acknowledge that you've been told and are understanding where we place this money, it's public money. And obviously, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer it.
Public comments?
Yes, in regards to the waste of money for Palms Medical, where will that money come to finance what we shouldn't be financing? We're gonna spend millions to renovate the building.
Oh.
Where does that money come from out of this? Yeah, where will that money come
Where's-
from?
Yeah,
You want me to answer?
yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, let's make sure we understand. We're not building a primary care facility for for Palms.
Yeah.
That's the authority's primary care
That's
facility.
ours. They're operating.
they have hired Shane, they've hired Palms to manage it for them.
Yes.
And that was done by bidding it out and asking people who operate those types of facilities, what would you propose in order to do this?
Which was one entity, and not a redo do-over on that one.
No redo. Palms by far and away has this market. And I think what was said was that we got the proper entity to do it, to run it.
Well, she mentioned tonight,
That,
relocate.
well, there is nothing,
I'm sure there will be some staff that will relocate to a different office. That
There-
doesn't mean everybody.
there's
is.
nothing in these proposals that I've ever been made aware of that in any way closes an existing Palms facility. None. And if you look at their market analysis, which was part of what was done, they basically now are underserving 10,000 people. The intent is to try to capture the 10,000 people with this facility, either by redistributing the work amongst the 3 Palms that will be here, or, if you can get all of them to come to this one, which is not going to happen, but technically you could do that. But the intent here is to cover the market demand.
Thank you. Any other comments? Thoughts of the board?
Like to point out that we're not financing it, also we'll be paying cash.
Yeah.
For it. And also, saw the one that matured the 7 million.
Yes.
There's $119,000, I think it was,
Net.
deposited in interest, deposited to the.
Operating account.
So. Was glad to see that it has yielded very positive gains. And that was over the last, how long was that for? Was that a year that one was, or was that an 18-month?
No, that was actually 3 years.
That's 3 years.
But they earn interest twice a month, twice a year.
Twice a year.
Twice a
Yeah.
year, yeah.
So that was the last.
Is it too late to short Berkshire Hathaway?
No, if you're gonna
There are
write,
things. And
you're gonna write the check for it.
Any other thoughts from the board?
I'd like to make a statement about Palms, my understanding. So many of the health facilities in today's world only accept certain insurances.
Mhm.
Palms is one of the few, in my understanding now, that does not say you have to have this one or you have to have it. They accept all of them. I mean, even hospitals don't accept all insurances anymore. And I like this concept. I mean, when you've got a 75-year-old person that walks in for treatment and they say, do you have Medicare? Yeah, I've got Medicare. Do you have any other insurance? Well, I don't know. When I worked, I kept this up. Thank you. Can you give us the information? That's it.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anywhere else. This is an old-fashioned concept and I very much like it.
Yeah.
Well said.
Agree with Miss Laurie. Let's don't forget, they are the federally qualified healthcare provider designated for this area. That makes a big difference in what they can do and how they do it.
Which is in the first paragraph of their agreement.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? All up?
Do we need to,
Yeah, I do
Next
need the
steps.
board, if they would, to acknowledge
Oh,
Of the meeting.
sorry. I was moving right
form
along.
of a motion?
the reinvestment in the treasuries, yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we acknowledge and accept the reinvestment of $7,967,000 of principal. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. the reinvestment of that into the 12-month treasury at a 4.01% annual yield.
Second,
Motion and a second, the aforementioned reinvestment of treasury notes, by Mr. Beal. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. On to the next item, discussion and possible action, the approval of a survey and deed of conveyance to Florida Gateway College. Mr. Williams.
Let me defer to Mr. Kennon, but in short, I think all the requirements have been met for the conveyance of the two-story women's center. Todd?
Yes, we received the boundary survey that was initiated by the college. And consistent with the requirements, whoever gets the properties bears the cost. Ms. Logan was kind enough to provide me that information. She then provided me a general warranty deed. There was no mention or discussion as to the type of conveyance. I suggested to her and I redrafted it to a special warranty deed. The difference is a general warranty deed, you're warranting it for the time you had the property in addition to everything prior. Special warranty deed, you're only warranting to cure any defects that you yourself caused during your ownership of it. So it's a tad more limited. We've had that property, I understand, for many, many years. The chances of there being an issue with it would be slim to none. But Miss Logan was kind enough to respond to me that the college would accept the special warranty deed and it is ready to be signed if it's pleasure of the board.
Any public comments?
I'll just, second, I just want to, Lawrence Barrett, president of Florida Gateway College, want to clarify that the property, if you so choose tonight, will go to the foundation for Florida Gateway College, and then at the end of next March in the state legislature, will go on back of the bill and it will go to Florida Gateway College. And that's the way we do property donations and sales and so forth. That's a typical situation. Also want to thank the board. We had a very extensive appraisal of that building, and to the surprise of some of my staff, not to me, that appraised at a very good number. And it was in very good shape. And also we had an inspection, and the inspection came in as we anticipated, with some issues with the HVAC systems, with the numerous doctors, and also a slight roof leak. And as soon as we take possession of that building, that will be taken care of. And as soon as we get possession of that, we've already, if we get possession of that, we already have contracted with a landscape architect. We'll keep the trees in the front. We'll keep the vision of the building in the front. So I just want to thank the board for that. And we have one little thing that we're doing, but the board passed, the foundation board did pass it, as they did, and I did not request it. And so that was on me as an environmental assessment 1. And that took place this past Thursday with me in the building with the environmental assessment, and the oral report was fine. So we're going to be fine with that. And Mr. Williams was great about showing about how it had a hospital authorization for no chemicals and so forth. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank the board with that. And we will be here on August 25th, and we're very familiar with a couple of those thoughts about that as we prepare that document. So thank you very much.
And the deed is from Lakeshore Hospital Authority to the Foundation for Florida Gateway College, Inc.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Thoughts of the board?
A nice plaque will be put on the building with our names on it.
I can't imagine why it wouldn't be.
I was
I
told,
can't.
I was told it's gonna be on every restroom.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
there we go.
Or a room named after each of us. How's that?
You're the only one getting the bronze statue in front, though. Tom Brady style.
Why did I even open my mouth?
No, because it was funny. It
If
was-
they
I appreciate
if
it.
they can imitate the hairdo, we got it going.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to mention, so we have planned for fall of 2026, the radiology X-ray technician program that we're planning, and probably as soon as January, a massage therapy program to go in there. We're actually, so on the second floor of the building, so.
I knew you.
I would like to say thank you very much on the radiology program.
Yeah.
I'm 79 years old and they're still trying to put me to work. That's how short we are on X-ray people.
Sure. Launch waiting list.
Yeah,
Good.
So if the trustees want, feel like the survey and the deed would be in order, you can have a motion in a second. We'll get it executed. I'm assuming by our chairman and appropriately witnessed and delivered to the college. I think they have a board meeting coming up.
Actually, the foundation, I'm just doing it for informational purposes for the actual board of trustees, because they didn't have to take possession until later, but it's already been done by our foundation. Last week.
They're waiting on us.
Our staff is good with it.
I'm
With
fine
the
with it.
survey.
Yep. I sent it all to Dale to look over, make sure that he understood the boundaries, because he knows that property better than I do, and everything seems to be in order.
Yeah.
Chair, if there's no other comments, I'll make a motion that we approve the survey and deed of conveyance to Foundation for Florida Gateway College regarding the 2 stories on this building.
second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
A motion in 2 seconds are given to approve the survey and deed of conveyance for Florida Gateway College. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Just for your information, on the 25th, one of the items that we placed on the agenda, because we can always withdraw it if needed, is the conveyance to Columbia County. It seems like Dr. Barrett kind of got a fire going, and all of a sudden people are wondering, well, where's our deed? And I said, well, that's up to you. I mean, we're not doing any of the background work. You are. So, seems like they're wanting now to get in a hurry, so I put it on the agenda just in case, so it is on there.
Great, because that was a question I had. Whether Mr. Kennan and Mr. Foreman were communicating.
Last, I told Mr. Foreman that Brett had done the site prep work and we're in the drawing process. So,
Great. Thank you.
and there's, I think, a little, obviously more properties, but Mr. Foreman indicated they were also outlining and identifying easements and road right of ways, a little more particular because of the way their properties are spread out. So that's why it's taking a little longer.
Thank you, sir.
Any further comments on that? Okay, the staff report is in your packets. Time for board member comments. Ms. Champion.
None.
Briefly, if Mr. Williams can again just go over what the agenda items will be 2 weeks from tonight.
We have a continued discussion of the City of Lake City zoning determination, et cetera. We have the presentation now from Florida Gateway College on the 12 lots. And we have the conveyance of deed to Columbia County for this building.
And the 11.2 acres. You're gonna
That's,
get some information on that.
Yeah, I was gonna get some information, but now let me say, these advertising periods that are required for these special meetings, I'll be able to give you that information, but you won't be able to act on that on the 25th.
Okay.
Nothing I can do about that. It's just the advertising report.
Yeah.
Did we ever make a decision on that other piece of property further to the east?
No. No. I think that whatever happens to the hospital property.
Yes, sir.
That will end up being part of that conveyance.
Okay.
The one with the building on it?
No, those are, I think he's asking about those two little old lots.
No, I was talking about with the 10 building, the one that the,
No, sir, nothing's been decided about it. In fact, we may end up having to use it as an office for a while.
okay, all
I
right.
thought we voted,
The toilets don't work.
Oh, well, they can work.
I thought that was determined that whoever got the building, that would go with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
Hospital.
correct.
Yeah.
The hospital building.
I was under that impression.
that's what you decided.
Okay.
You might remember that Meridian stood up when y'all were discussing it and said, you know, we would like to have that building, particularly for maintenance and et cetera.
Have we declared it surplus yet?
It, I'll have to double check.
I didn't put you on the spot.
I don't want to speak too soon.
Yes.
I'll have to double check.
I feel like we did.
Well, it was the building that you had agreed to allow Columbia EMS to use. But that never come to fruition, so I don't know whether we actually declared it surplus or not.
And I assume because I was not on the board in 2019, were the 12 lots considered surplus?
Yes,
Prior to the
they've been
earlier-
declared surplus. And there's actually a listing of those lots in the agenda packet.
Yes, sir. See, so.
And by the way, the southernmost lot, it did have environmental issues on it. Those have all been cured. There was not only an EA1, but an EA2 done on that. Because years and years ago, apparently that was part of a gas station that was there. But other than that, the rest of those lots have never had any type of issue that we've ever been able to find.
No additional comments from myself. Bill? Mr. Wade?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, real quick, let me mention something to you about budget. Of course, September at your regular meeting is your first public hearing. Hopefully I will be able to get out a preliminary budget to you, plenty of time for you to review. Our budgets are not that difficult. Couple of things though I do want to mention to you. Number one, we had the conversation earlier in the meeting about the primary care facility. I did not start building in any type of expense for construction until January. Now, I know what's been said, we can always move it up. You can put it, we can do it however you want to, but I just wanted you to know that my personal opinion is time we get to spending actual money on construction, you're going to be in January. So that's why I did the budget the way I did. Secondly, I have included an increase for Sonia. I think Sonia's deserving of an increase. Other public employees are getting increases. So I want you to be thinking about that, not from the standpoint of whether it's deserving or not, but just how much you think maybe we should give. So I wanted to mention that to you.
Any money for cookies in the budget?
Yeah, we need them all. Now, the other two things that are not in the budget that you have to decide are two things that you have indicated you would consider. One, of course, is whether or not you wish to contribute anything toward county EMS. Now, I'm not trying to be Todd, but I'm sure Todd would tell you, you can't give money directly to Columbia EMS. You might give money to Columbia County, who in turn might give it to them. But y'all indicated at a previous meeting you would consider that. The second thing you indicated, and I'm working on this number now, is whether or not Palms could schedule visits in Fort White on a regular basis. So I've had that conversation ongoing. I don't have a number yet, but by the time you get ready to decide that budget, I will. So those are a few things you really need to start thinking about, just collecting your thoughts. The rest of the budget is just making sure that we can cover expenses. We know what the Florida retirement system contribution rate is. That's just plugging in numbers. We know what historically we're paying for energy costs. That's plugging in numbers. We know what our insurance has been running. That's just plugging in numbers. So those things are pretty simple. The things I mentioned to you are going to be the things that are new to the budget or variable. And those are the things that you're going to have to decide before you adopt at the first reading for the second public hearing. So I just wanted to give you that information in advance.
Thank you, Dale.
Sure. On that issue, do you want your board members to convey those thoughts to you? Or should
You can, Mr. Kennedy, the main thing is I don't want to spring that on you. I mean, it's been some time since we've discussed some of that. I don't want to walk in here the first meeting in September. You've been busy. I forgot to tell you or something and then go, oh, by the way, remember y'all said you would talk about this. So this gives you an opportunity to give some thought to it in advance. And I will put all of this in writing and send it to you via email just to continue to remind you. And hopefully I can attach a preliminary copy of the proposed budget, but budget itself is pretty simple.
Any comments? All right. Board's adjourned.
We reduce legal fees, did I mention? No.
Resident